Okay, right. So, two molecules of HClO4 will lose one water molecule to form Cl2O7. So, it is called as acidic anhydride of this acid. So, like this, acidic anhydrides can be discussed. So, now we will discuss about how the nature of oxides varies along a period and along a group. So, how it varies along a period? Along a period from left to right, horizontally, the nature of oxides, how do they vary? For example, take third period elements. So oxides of third period element, what are the oxides of third period element? Sodium oxide, magnesium oxide, aluminum oxide, okay, silicon oxide, so oxide of phosphorus, oxide of sulfur, oxide of chlorine. So if you take oxides of third period element and observe the nature of their oxides. So Na2 is a strongly basic oxide. It is a strong base. Okay, and it is basic in nature. It is not as strong as this one, and this is amphoteric in nature. Amphoteric. Okay, and this is weak acid. Silicon dioxide is a weak acid. Weak acid. Okay, so phosphorus B2O5, it is an acidic in nature. Somewhat acidic in nature. Somewhat means okay, acceptable. So here strong acidic nature, strong acidic, and it is here Cl2O7 is strongest acidic in nature. So what is happening to the nature of oxides along a period from left to right? What is happening? Oxides, they varies from basic to acidic. Okay, so they change from basic to acidic in nature. So that means the nature of oxides, how do they vary from basic? So basic towards left side and basic to, so they change from basic nature to acidic nature. So as we move from left to right, the nature of oxides, it changes from basic to acidic. So these are metals. So metal oxides are generally, they are basic, and non-metals, they are generally acidic. Okay, so like this. So the nature of oxide, they vary from basic to acidic along a period from left to right. Now if you see how the nature of oxides, they vary in a group. How do the nature of oxides, they vary in a group? If you see in a group, the basic nature increases or acidic nature decreases. In a group, what happens? Basic nature increases, acidic nature of oxides decreases. Basic nature of oxides increases, okay, and acidic nature of oxides decreases. For example, take second group elements like beryllium, magnesium oxide, calcium oxide, strontium oxide, barium oxide. So these are the elements belonging to same group and their oxides. So the oxides of second A group elements, if you consider, so beryllium oxide, actually it is somewhat it is not that much acidic. So it is somewhat less basic in nature. So basic nature, what happens? It increases. So it is least basic in nature. So magnesium oxide is somewhat more basic, calcium oxide is more basic, strontium oxide is more basic, and barium oxide is some more basic. So here what is happening? So as we move down, so basic nature, as we move down, the basic nature of oxides, basic nature of oxides, basic nature of oxides increases. Basic nature of oxides increases. That means barium oxide is more basic than strontium oxide, and it is more basic than calcium oxide, and more basic than magnesium oxide, than beryllium oxide. So like this. So conversely, the acidic nature of oxides increases, decreases. So here, that means, so this is weak basic oxide, hence it is strong basic oxide. So when it is a weak base, then it will be a strong acid. So here, as it is a weak basic oxide, it is a strong acidic oxide. Okay. Generally, basic nature and acidic nature, they are inversely related to each other. When a substance is weakly basic, then it is said to be strongly acidic, like that. So in this way, the nature of oxides can be discussed. So they vary. How do they vary along a period and along a group? We have seen. So generally, the basic nature of oxides, so generally they increase down the group, and the acidic nature of oxides decreases down the group. Now we learn about the nature of oxyacids. Nature of oxyacids. Nature of oxyacids. See, we have seen nature of oxides. Now we are learning about nature of oxyacids. What are oxyacids? What are oxyacids? Acids. Generally, if you see acids are of two types mainly: hydracids and oxyacids. Hydracids and oxyacids. What are hydracids? Hydracids are they are said to be binary acids also. They are called as binary acids. Binary acids. Oxyacids, they are called as ternary acids. They are called as ternary acids. T-E-R-N-E-R-Y, ternary acids. See why they are called as binary? Because the name itself, it will says that there are two elements. There are two elements. What are those two elements? One is hydrogen, it is must and should, and the other one is any non-metal. For example, take a HCl, HF, HI, H2S. So these are what? These are acids. They contain only two elements in them. One element is must and should, it is hydrogen, and the other element may be any non-metal. For example, this is hydrochloric acid. So it is having hydrogen and chlorine. Hydrofluoric acid. So hydrofluoric acid, it contains hydrogen and fluorine. Hydroiodic acid, H2S. H2S is acidic in nature. So already we learnt in our practical chemistry that H2S is somewhat acidic in nature. Okay, so these acids are said to be binary acids. Okay, now oxyacids. If you see oxyacids, they contain three elements. Must and should, they contain three different elements, and one of them will be hydrogen, and other will be oxygen, and the other will be non-metal, any non-metal. So hydrogen and oxygen are must. Okay, so for example, take H2SO4, HNO3, CH3COOH. So it is acidic acid. Acetic acid, the vinegar, it contains acetic acid. So sulfuric acid, nitric acid, etc. So in these acids, you will find hydrogen, oxygen and non-metal. Hydrogen, oxygen and non-metal. Here, the oxyacids can be again classified into two types: mineral acids. Okay, mineral oxyacid. See, these are also mineral acids. And another one, organic acids. Organic acids. Mineral acids are also called as inorganic acids. Inorganic acids. Even these are also will come under mineral acids. Okay, right. Organic acid. So in mineral acids, particularly oxy mineral acids, they contain what? Hydrogen, oxygen, and other non-metal. Non-metal other than carbon. So here, for example, so this is a mineral acid. This is a mineral acid. H2SO4, HNO3, HClO4, okay, H3PO4, etc. So they contain the non-metal other than carbon. They contain non-metal other than carbon. Okay, but organic acids contain hydrogen, oxygen, and carbon, and they contain this group compulsorily. This group COOH group is present compulsorily in organic acids. In organic acids, COOH group should be, it is must. Without COOH group, then it is not treated as organic acid. Okay, in general, organic acids, they possess COOH group. So very few exceptions are there. So we'll discuss about those things in depth when we learn about organic chemistry. So now, as of now, we are interested in oxy acids. So particularly the mineral oxy acids we are interested in, because organic acid can be dealt in organic chemistry, which is a very huge topic. So we'll learn in our later classes. Okay, now we'll go with oxy acids. So these are not oxy acids. So these are etc. These are mineral acids, inorganic acids which contain hydrogen, oxygen, and non-metal. So they are treated as oxy acids. Okay, right. So those are called as oxy acids. How do the oxy acids vary? How in a periodic table? See, if you see, let us learn how do the nature of oxy acids will vary along a period. For example, take second period elements, oxy acids of second period. So generally, acids means will take only non-metals in general, because non-metal is must and should along with hydrogen and oxygen. So in oxy acids, non-metal should be must and should. Okay, so we'll consider second period elements. So particularly we'll neglect metal oxides, metals. So we'll consider only non-metals from the second period. Non-metals only we will consider from the second period, because metals, they form bases. Here we are discussing about acids. So we'll discuss about the non-metals only. Non-metal, for example, from second period, boron. So from boron also onwards we will start. H3BO3, boric acid. So we use for carom board powder. So this is used as the carom board powder sometimes, and it is also used to clean the ice. Okay, so boric acid, carbonic acid, H2CO3, carbonic acid, which is used in our soft drinks. Okay, particularly soda, drinking soda. Okay, and even certain soft drinks they contain carbonic acid. Okay, HNO3, etc. So what is next to HNO3? Boron, carbon, nitrogen, and oxygen. So oxygen does not have any oxy acid, and even fluorine also does not have any oxy acids. Okay, so leave this, because oxygen cannot form any oxy acid, and even fluorine also cannot form any oxy acid. So leave these things. So we'll go with the third period. If you see, if you want third period, so we'll get some more acids from third period. and particularly we have to take non-metals only. So take silicic acid H2SiO3. It is called as silicic acid. Phosphoric acid H3PO4. So after silicon it is phosphorus. So after phosphorus, sulfur H2SO4 sulfuric acid. So next next it is perchloric acid HClO4. See, if we consider all these things, see what is happening to the nature of oxyacids. These are all oxyacids belong to second period. So here the nature of oxyacids, the strength of oxyacids increases as we move from left to right. So the nature of oxyacids, the strength of the oxyacids becomes stronger. Okay, so here also, so in any period, if you see the non-metallic part of the period, so and their oxyacids, if you consider, so the nature of oxyacids, so the strength of oxyacids increases along a period from left to right. And now we will observe what will happen to the strength of the oxyacids down the group. The strength of oxyacid, how do they vary? So down the group, period means from left to right horizontal. So group means down the group. So what happens to the nature of strength of the oxyacids decreases. So what happens? Oxyacids strength decreases. If you consider any group, for example, take 50A group. See, generally we have to consider the groups which are related to non-metals only, because these are acids. Already we learned that non-metals are related to acids and metals are related to bases. So generally we will consider non-metal groups. So 50A group elements are non-metals. So generally, what are the non-metals for 50A group? Nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, etc. Okay, so it's oxyacid. Nitrogen oxyacid is HNO3. Oxyacids of phosphorus is H3PO4. And arsenic oxyacid H3ASO4. H3SbO4. See, the nitric acid, its formula is somewhat different. So when compared to other oxyacids of that group, so we learn why it is different. We learn in our later classes. Okay, right. If you observe, so nitric acid is a strong acid. It is strong acid than phosphoric acid, and phosphoric acid is somewhat stronger than arsenic acid, and it is stronger than antimonic acid. Okay, so like this. So what is happening down the group? So down the group, the strength of the acid, the strength of the acidic nature of oxyacids, it keep on decreasing. Strength of the acidic nature of oxyacids, it decreases down the group. Okay, right. Take another group, for example, take 7th group. So what are the elements present in 7th group? So fluorine, already we learned that fluorine does not have any oxyacid. It does not form any oxyacids. Next to fluorine is chlorine, HClO4, HBrO4. Fluorine, no fluorine. So chlorine, bromine, iodine. Iodine means HiO4. Okay. So and astatine is a radioactive element. So we don't consider the astatine also. So what is happening? So this is a strong acid than this one, and this strong acid than this one. So down the group, what is happening to the strength of the acid, acidic nature of the oxyacids? So acidic nature of oxyacids decreases down the group. Okay, down the group. So 7th group elements are fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. So fluorine does not form any oxyacid. Fluorine does not have any oxy acids. So oxy acids of chlorine, bromine and iodine, when you compare, so the nature of the strength of the acid decreases. So as we move down the group, okay, the strength of the oxy acids, acidic strength of the oxy acid decreases down the group. Okay, right. Now, if a non-metal forms a number of oxy acids, for example, take any non-metal. If a non-metal forms a number of oxy acids, then the strength of the oxy acid increases with increase in percentage of oxygen. For example, take sulfur, a non-metal. It is forming oxy acids like H2SO3, H2SO4. So these two are oxy acids of sulfur. Sulfurous acid, sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid, sulfurous acid. Sulfurous acid, sulfuric acid. See, out of these two acids, the percentage of oxygen is more in sulfuric acid. Hence, it is more stronger. Okay. That means if a non-metal forms a number of oxy acids, for example, I'll write the definition. I'll write that statement. If a non-metal forms a number of oxy acids, okay, it forms a number of the strength increases with the increase of percentage of oxygen. The strength of acid, or else the acidic strength increases with increase in percentage of oxygen. So here in sulfuric acid more percentage of oxygen is present, hence it is more stronger than sulfurous acid. So these two are acids of the same element, but the percentage of oxygen it is more in case of sulfuric acid, hence it is strong acid than this acid. Okay, take another example. Take HClO, chlorine. If you take chlorine, it can form oxy acids like HClO, HClO2, HClO3, HClO4. So here what is happening? Percentage of oxygen is keep on increasing. So it is called as perchloric acid, it is chloric acid, it is chlorous acid, it is hypochlorous acid. Okay. So what is happening? So strength of the acidic strength is increasing and stability increases. So here acidic strength increases, stability of oxy acids also increases. So when compared to this acid, this is more stable acid, and when compared to this one, this is more stable, and when compared to this one, this is more stable acid. So here HClO4, HClO or else HOCl, it is a very unstable acid. HClO is unstable acid, hence it is used for chlorination. For chlorination purpose, it is used because it it is used as disinfectant. HClO, it is also used as disinfectant because it can lose it easily break down into HCl and oxygen. It easily break down into HCl and oxygen because it is less stable. When compared to this one, this is more stable. When compared to this one, this is more stable, and this is still more stable. So what is happened to the stability of oxy acids? Stability of oxy acids, it increases down the group. Ready? Increases down the group. Stability of oxyacids increases down the group. Okay, so remember, so this is the most important point, so we have to see, so we'll discuss about this one later. And one more thing, oxidizing nature also decreases. Oxidizing nature also decreases. See here, oxidizing nature decreases. Oxidizing nature. Oxidizing nature. Oxidizing nature decreases. So that means it is lesser oxidizing agent than this one. And this is a less oxidizing agent than this one. And this is less oxidizing agent than this one. What is oxidizing nature? Oxidizing nature means oxygen supplying nature. So it can supply oxygen to other substances easily. Okay, than this one. And it can supply oxygen to other substances easily than this one. So out of these four, so HClO4 can supply oxygen easily to the other substance and make the other substance to undergo oxidation. Hence it is said to be an oxidizing agent. So out of these four, so HClO4 is a strong oxidizing agent. So oxidizing nature, it decreases as the percentage of oxygen increases. As the percentage of oxygen increases, the oxidizing nature decreases. Okay. Now, oxidation state of central atom also will help us to know the acidic strength. For example, central atom oxidation state, acidic strength, how it varies. Oxidation state of central atom. If it increases, then acidic nature of oxyacid increases. Okay, already we have seen in terms of percentage of oxygen. So now we will see the oxidation state in terms of oxidation state. For example, H2S, we'll see HClO2, HClO3, HClO4. So how to calculate oxidation state? Generally, oxidation state of oxygen is -2 in general, and oxidation state of hydrogen will be +1. So the sum of oxidation state will be 0. Sum of oxidation states will be 0 in a molecule. So this is a molecule. So if you add the oxidation state of hydrogen, oxidation state of chlorine, and oxidation state of how many 2 oxygen atoms are there? So 2 oxygen. So it should be 0. The sum of oxidation states of all atoms. Sum of oxidation states of all atoms. Remember, sum of oxidation states of all atoms will be 0 in a molecule. So here there are 2 oxygen atoms. So hydrogen. So what is the oxidation state of hydrogen? +1. What is the oxidation state of oxygen? Hydrogen is +1. So chlorine we don't know. Oxygen, each oxygen is how much? Each oxygen is -2. Each oxygen -2. So should be 0. So +1, that means 1 plus chlorine here -4 will be 0. So chlorine will be what? It will be +3. The oxidation state of chlorine is +3. So if you calculate this one, so 1 hydrogen, 1 chlorine, and 3 oxygens are there, and the sum of oxidation state should be 0. So hydrogen already we know it is 1, and chlorine we don't know in this compound. So in this compound, chlorine oxidation state is +3. So, and again each oxygen should be -2, some should be 0. So 1 plus chlorine, here it is -6, is equal to 0. Therefore chlorine oxidation state will be +5. Are you following? So like this. So here in HClO4, one hydrogen, one chlorine and 4 oxygens. Overall it should be 0. Overall it should be 0. So one hydrogen, one chlorine, 4 oxygens, and overall it should be 0. Overall it should be 0. So now if you calculate, so the chlorine oxidation state will be +7. The chlorine oxidation state will be, it will be +7 in this compound. In this compound +7, in this compound it is +5, and in this compound the chlorine oxidation state is See, oxidation state of central atom, acid, not acid, it is atom. Oxidation state of central atom increases. Oxidation state of central atom increases. See here, central atom, what is the central atom here? So chlorine, in all these cases chlorine. So it's, if you see the oxidation state of chlorine, so it is increasing. As the oxidation state of central atom increases, then acidic nature of oxyacid increases. Hence, this is more, this is strongly acidic than this one, and this is strongly acidic than this one. So like this. And when we compare, okay, like this we can compare. Stability of oxyacids, what happens? It increases. Stability of oxyacids, it increases. Okay, let it be. So we will learn about these things later. So this is the point. So which describes about the strength of acidic nature of oxyacid and the oxidation state, how these two are related. Okay. So now let us learn about the nature of hydrates. Nature of hydrates. How do they vary in the period? In the periodic table. So nature of hydrates. Nature of hydrates. Nature of hydrates. Nature of hydrates, they change from basic to acidic in a period. If you consider a period from left to right, horizontally, so here we'll see the nonmetals only. Now here also we'll consider the nonmetals only. So for example, take the second period elements. What are the second period elements? Nitrogen. Okay. Nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, if you consider, their hydrate. Hydrate means when these elements they combine with hydrogen, then they form hydrates. So the hydrate of nitrogen is, it will be like this, NH3. Hydrate of oxygen will be H2F. Hydrate of fluorine will be HF. See, if you consider this, so these are like this. And if you see the next period, so phosphorus, sulfur and chlorine, it's a hydrate, and its hydrate. So here actually ammonia is a weak base, already we learnt. It's a weak base. Water is neutral in nature, already we learnt this also, and this is acidic. Of course it is weak acid. Simply we will write, I'll write a weak acid. Weak acid. And phosphine, pH 3 is called as phosphine. It's a very weak base. Very weak base. And it is somewhat weakly acidic. Weak acid. Weak acid. H2S is a weak acid. Already we learnt H2S as a weak acid. HClO4 is a strong acid. HCl is a strong acid. So these are what? These are hydrates. Hydrates of second period elements and hydrates of third period elements. If you observe what is happening. So here the hydrates, they are turning from basic to acidic. So they are from basic to acidic. So as we move from left to right horizontally along a period, the nature of hydrates will change from basic to acidic nature. Okay, the nature of hydrates changes from basic to acidic along a period. So now we will learn about how the acidic nature it varies, or else how the nature of hydrates they varies down the group. So if you consider any group, for example fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, HI. So HBr, hydrobromic acid, hydrochloric acid, hydrofluoric acid, hydrobromic acid, hydroiodic acid. See, if we consider the acidic strength of hydrates, so weak acid, strong acid, it is a stronger acid, and it is the strongest acid. It is strongest in this group. Strongest acid in this group. So which acid is strongest acid in this group? Out of this group, HF, HCl, HBr and HI. So HI is the strongest acid. Okay, so if you consider the acidic strength, so HF it is somewhat weak acid than HCl. HCl is weaker than HBr is weaker than HI. See what is happening down the group of hydrates. The acidic nature is increasing. The acidic nature of hydrates is increasing down the group. Strength of the acid increases. Okay. See, actually, this is more reactive than this one. Fluorine is more reactive than iodine. Hence, it forms a strong bond with the hydrogen than this one. So HF and HI. It is more reactive, it is less reactive. It is weak acid, strong acid. Reactivity wise, if you see, fluorine is more reactive and iodine is less reactive. As it is more reactive, it forms a strong bond. It never leaves hydrogen. But iodine is less reactive, so it can leave hydrogen easily. This bond can be broken easily and converted to H plus ions and I minus. So, but here as fluorine is stronger, it cannot lose hydrogen easily. The bond does not break easily. What is acid? What is an acid? Acid, the substance. What acid is a substance? The substance that can give H plus ions. The substance that can give H plus ions is said to be acid. So out of these two, which is giving H plus ion easily? That means which bond is broken easily? So this bond is broken easily because Iodine is less reactive. Iodine is less reactive. As iodine is less reactive, what happens? It does not want to be with hydrogen. So simply what happens? It loses hydrogen and remains idle separately, individually. So but fluorine, as it is highly reactive, it does not want to lose any atom because it reacts with that atom strongly. So hence it does not like to lose hydrogen. Hence the fluorine does not lose H plus ion easily. So that is why Hi can be broken down into H plus ion and I minus ion easily. That means Hi can give H plus ion. Hi can give H plus ion easily. So that is why Hi is a strong acid than HF. Okay. So that is why HF is a weak acid and Hi is strong acid. So as we move down the group, so what is happening to the acidic strength? So acidic strength down the group. Okay. So down the group, if you see, down the group acidic strength it increases group wise. Down the group acidic strength increases. So that is the reason. And what happens to the nature of hydrates means here down the group strength of acid increases. Strength of acid increases down the group and stability decreases. Stability decreases. What is the meaning of stability? Stability decreases. Stability decreases means so HF it can remain as HF only, but Hi cannot remain as Hi. As it is unstable, it will break down into H plus and I minus. So here it is more stable, hence it remains as HF only. But here Hi is less stable, least stable, hence it can go, it will break down into H plus ion and I minus ions. So that means, so the strength, the stability is decreasing. As stability is decreasing, it can lose H plus ion easily. Hence it will become more acidic. Like this. So stability of hydrates decreases down the group. Whereas strength of hydracids increases down the group. Stability of hydracids are nothing but hydrates only. Hydrate means hydrogen. So this is hydrate of fluorine, this is hydrate of chlorine, this is hydrate of bromine, this is hydrate of iodine. So strength of hydracids, stability of hydracids decreases down the group. In the same way, reducing nature, it increases, because what is reducing nature? Reducing nature means hydrogen giving nature. So if someone needs hydrogen, so then Hi can easily give hydrogen to other atoms, but HF it cannot give hydrogen easily, because fluorine is more reactive. It wants to keep hydrogen with itself because it is more reactive with hydrogen. But here, as iodine is less reactive, so it can give hydrogen to other substance easily from Hi. Hence, it acts as strong reducing agent. So the reducing nature increases from HF to HCl, and from HCl to HBr, and from HBr to Hi. So the reducing nature increases. So this is all about the nature of hydrates in the periodic table. And the last point from this lesson is anomalous behavior of the elements of second period. Anomalous behavior. Anomalous behavior of second period elements. Anomalous behavior of second period elements. Suppose if you take any group, for example, take first A group: lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium, or else beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, radium, or else boron, aluminium, gallium, indium, thallium. So any group if you take, so these are the second period elements of that group. Second period elements, they behave differently. They behave differently in many respects, in many aspects from the other members. So lithium, the behavior of lithium is different from the other members of this group. For example, lithium will form covalent compounds. Lithium will form covalent compounds. Lithium will form covalent compounds. Example. Whereas all these, they form ionic compounds. Ionic compounds. Lithium will form covalent compound, whereas all these will form ionic compound. In the same way, beryllium also will form covalent compounds, whereas all other members of its group, they form ionic compounds. So like this. So such behavior is said to be anomalous behavior. Anomalous behavior. These are second period elements of all groups. So second period elements of any group if you take, so it shows somewhat different behavior when compared to other members of its own group. What is the reason for such different behavior? So the reasons, we will learn the reasons for such behavior. First reason is small atomic size. So second period element, small atomic size. Small atomic size and small ionic size. Because of small atomic size and small ionic size, so they differ differently when compared to other members. They possess high electronegativity. High electronegativity. Second period element of any group. Second period element of any group. Second period element of any group. So it possesses, because it stands at the top position. So in the in a group, the top element or the first element will be second period element only. So in any group it will be like that only. So except first A group. So actually hydrogen should be here, but the position of hydrogen, it is not fixed. It is not correct. So simply just leave it. So rest of the other groups if you consider, so generally even this also. So lithium belongs to second period. So second period group element from any group, it shows different behavior than the other members of its group. So the reasons are due to small atomic size, small ionic size, high electronegativity, okay, and non-availability of d orbitals. Non-availability of d orbitals. Second period, we said second period elements contains only two shells. Already we know that the period number, it will tell about the number of shells in that atom. So here all the second period elements, they contain only two shells in their atoms. So two shells means in first shell there will be only S, and in second shell there will be S and P only. S and P. There is no D. So that means d orbitals are not available. So d orbitals are available from third period only. From third shell only d orbitals are available. That means from third period elements d orbitals are available. Hence the second period elements, they show different behavior. Anomalous behavior means different behavior from the other members of its own group. So these are some of the reasons. Non-availability of d orbitals is also one of the reasons. Okay, d orbitals in their valence shell, in their valence shell. Their valency shell. Okay, right. Another reason is they can form multiple bonds. Okay, so these elements, they can form multiple bonds. Yeah, next, what is the next one? Carbon, silicon, germanium, tin, lead. So carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, bismuth. So here these are second period element. So here these elements, they can form multiple bonds. They form multiple bonds. Multiple bonds. What are multiple bonds? Double bond and triple bond are said to be multiple bonds. Double bond and triple bond are said to be multiple bonds. For example, carbon can form multiple bonds like this. Okay, nitrogen can form multiple bonds like this. Carbon can form multiple bonds like this. Nitrogen also can form multiple bonds like this. But no other member, they cannot form multiple bonds. Only the second period elements can form multiple bonds. Okay, other members, they does not form multiple bonds easily. Okay. Next reason is here charge by radius ratio is high. Charge by radius ratio. Charge. Simply I am writing Q. Q indicates charge, R indicates radius. So charge by radius ratio is high because, so here this atom will have small radius when compared to this atom. So what is happening to the radius of the atoms? So radius of atoms increases, so it will possess smallest radius. When radius is in denominator, so and when it is less, what happened to this value? This entire value will be more. See, all these elements will have same charge. For example, lithium 1 unit of charge. Lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium. All of them, they have only 1 unit of charge. 1 unit of charge. 1 unit of charge. So they have only 1 unit of charge. All these elements. But the radius of this one will increase down the group. So this is small size, this is large size, this is large, still larger, still larger, still larger. So here radius, so the radius of this one is smaller and its charge is same as other elements. So if you consider lithium, so as its radius is smaller and it contains same charge of that group, hence as a result, so when radius is small and charge is same, so it possesses as a whole, this value will become high. So that is why high charge by radius ratio is possessed by the second period elements from all groups. Okay, so like this. So these are the important things. These are the reasons which explains why the second period elements, it shows some different behavior from all other elements. So from this, with this, the periodic classification of elements, that lesson is finished. Okay, right, Nana? Charge by radius ratio. charge by radius ratio. Charge by radius ratio. Lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium. So all of them are possessing only 1 unit of charge. But the size of lithium is smaller. The radius of lithium is smaller. So when charge is same and radius is small, so this value will become more. So the charge by radius of this one is more than this one, and the charge by radius of this one will be more than this one. So here, out of all these elements, lithium is having the highest charge by radius ratio. Hence